There was a leaked internal memo from the FBI, and it was leaked to CNN, and it basically indicated that a few FBI agents got caught using their government-issued Blackberries to basically send photos of their Johnson to other female FBI officials. Because that's what guys typically do with their cell phones, right? They take pictures of their dicks, and then they send it to their female coworkers.
You got that
right. We've gone over this before. Most women are not into images of dicks, okay? Like, it's not attractive. It's not going to get a girl go. No woman looks at a picture of a penis and goes like, gotta have that right now.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, so many guys do it, and I can't conceive of it ever working.
No.
So there's a weird disconnect there, but it must work some of the time if people are doing it. But like, to me, the idea that a woman would be like, oh, I wasn't interested in this guy, but now that I've seen his dick, okay,
maybe,
all right, now we're back in a conversation.
Right.
That seems to have never happened in human history, but I could be wrong.
So a few things that I found fascinating about this story. First of all, these are FBI agents, people that should be well versed in covering their tracks. And somehow they are dumb enough to use their government-issued Blackberries to send pictures of their Johnson to other women. And apparently, I don't know who leaked this internal memo, but there was an FBI official who said the following. She was being interviewed by the press. She says, when you're given an FBI Blackberry, it's for official use. It's not to text the women in another office who you found attractive or to send a picture of yourself in a state of undress. That is not what we provide an FBI Blackberry for.
And they did a whole bunch of inappropriate things here. You find out through the internal memo. It's not just the sexting.
Yeah.
One guy bugged his
boss's office.
Man, you got some balls on that. But now that's some FBI stuff. The flip side is he got caught.
He did
not
get
very
caught.
FBI.
Yeah, and I don't know why he felt the need to do that. But also, what's really interesting is how these officials get disciplined, right? Because it seems like they don't have their priorities, right? So let me read you what the New York's Daily Intel wrote. They said, getting a DUI in your own car, shoplifting from a grocery store, and lying about dating a known drug dealer will lead to dismissal. However, infractions such as unauthorized use of FBI database to search for information about friends and coworkers, broke spouse's e-reader in half and pointed unloaded gun at dog's head, and used government-issued Blackberry to send sexually explicit messages to another employee will only earn you a suspension.
You know what, though? So I don't know if what I'm about to say is controversial, but I don't necessarily disagree with that. So DUI, of course you should be gone, you know, and shoplifting, I get why they were fired for all that stuff. The breaking your spouse's e-reader, that's between you and her. I mean, that doesn't sound like you should get fired for that.
So you point a gun
at a dog, it's unloaded. I don't care what you pointed at your dog. It's weird, and maybe I noted in your record, but am I going to fire you over that?
But that indicates that this individual obviously has some temper issues that could...
And I get you, but you think fired necessarily? And the sex thing, it's goofy, and you're an idiot, and I can't believe you're in the FBI. Maybe we should fire you for incompetence, but... Like, you sexted somebody. I mean, look, you send a picture of your junk. Okay, fine, you're gone. Okay, you're FBI, right? But hey, how you doing? You want to, get down later tonight? I'm not going to fire you for that. That's what people use Blackberries for.
I don't care.
He shouldn't have used the government one.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a firing offense.
I don't care what FBI officials do on their own time, but when you're doing something that's violent, you should expect to get fired, especially when you're working for a government agency. So that particular individual who, broke his girlfriend's, e-reader in half or whatever, he got like a 43-day suspension. The sexting thing, I generally agree with you, unless they're doing something that could possibly leak private information to the wrong people. You shouldn't be using your government-issued Blackberry to do that kind of sketchy stuff.
Right, and then the first one is actually the most problematic, but probably the one they do most often. Looking up other people's private information, their friends, family, or people they don't like, whatever it might be. You're only supposed to look up people's information for official investigations. Now that's a real big problem.
Yes.
But my guess is they're not getting fired because probably half of them do it. Okay, and that sucks. And if I was them, I'd regulate a lot more on that.
Well, just to give you an idea of how many people have gotten fired, the FBI has about 36,000 employees. Between 2010 and 2012, 1,045 were disciplined, only 85 were fired. So not a lot of them get fired. Only 85 in 2 years. So.
Now, have a better rate of not getting fired and not getting disciplined than the rest of the federal government, but that might mean that they just protect their own better.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean they're not doing as bad as stuff. It's just they probably close ranks a little better.